Hi, we're back and we're going to paint our banner to go with the welcome sign. I've based it in a medium green. You can either mix it from the colors we have on our palette that we've used for the green mix, or you can use Americana Arbor Green, gives you about the same color. And we're going to stencil the word welcome. I've used the small welcome stencil and we're using the medium size. And with a dome blender style brush, I'm going to stipple the letters with a mix of white plus a little raw sienna. This will give you a color similar to the background color of the banner, which we had based in Americana Sand. So we're just going to stipple the stencil to fill each of the letters across. I'm just holding it in place with my fingers, but if you prefer, you can tape it in place to hold it while you're working. So we're going to just continue across all the letters, and you'll see I may go back over a few of them if they don't look quite even in value when I finish, but we're going to fast forward here. Next, I'm going to show you how to do a drop shadow using the stencil. First, you position your stencil back right over top of the letters, getting it as even as possible. And then shift the stencil about 1/16 inch to the left, and you'll see a little gap exposed between the sand colored stenciled letters that we put in and the background color. And now I'm going to take a small round brush, like say a number 4, and using some of the green mix that we started with, and you can darken it with a little bit of raw umber if you need to. I'm going to just carefully line down in that little gap between the letters and the stencil, and that'll create a dark shadow that's a little value darker than the background color, and will give a little cast shadow to each of the letters and give them a little bit more dimension. Okay, next we're going to highlight the right side of each of the letters with a float of the opaque white. I'm just using a small 1/4 inch angle brush, side loaded with white, and I'm going to come along and just brush down the right edge of each of the letters to give them a highlight on the right side of each letter, to give them a highlight on the right side, since we've added our cast shadow on the left side. So just go through and do each letter. We finished highlighting and shading the letters, and now we need to do the ribbon banner. We're going to shade the banner with a green mix that I'm adding a little phthalo blue to darken it, using like a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch angle brush to do the float. And you're going to give the ribbon dimension. So float down on the outer ribbon edge with this dark value, and it's coming down following the angle of that little indention, and as you get to the bottom of it, it's going to curve into the center just a little bit. And we're going to repeat that on the opposite side. And trying to get this on the camera, it's hard for me to find an angle that I can feel comfortable painting. So again, you're just going to brush down on the little outer tail against the curve of the ribbon where it's folding back under. And as you get to the bottom, pull that shadow in, just a very slight curve at the bottom. And now we're going to do the little inner curve, and it's sort of like a little C stroke. And so this sort of gives the illusion that the ribbon is folding back on itself. And do that on both sides. And if you don't get it dark enough the first time, you can always add a second layer. Now to highlight it, we're going to use the green mix floated with some of the opaque white to make a very light green mix. And we're going to highlight against the edges where we shaded just now. So you can see we're coming down with the paint edge of the brush right up against that shadow that we just placed in. And do that on both sides of the banner. Here I'm just adding a little more to make it a little more defined. Reload your brushes as you need to as you start running out of paint. Again, we're using the green mix plus a little white. And come in again above that little C stroke that we shaded at the bottom. This is just a very simple highlight, but you can see now how the banner looks on top of our sign. And you can connect the two with black craft wire. I want to thank you for painting with this project with me, and I hope you come back for another one.